The sun is up, the sky is blue. Today is beautiful, and so are you. Good afternoon to our thesis advisor, Ms. Karen Molina, and good afternoon to our invited method expert, Ms. Rujubi Hinugin. We're very glad, ma'am, to have you here. I am Raisa A. Pimentel, and I would like to greet you all a pleasant day. Today, we will be presenting our proposed study entitled Effectiveness on Modular Approach on Grade 4 Students' Reading Comprehension at Liberty Elementary School. Together with my other proponents, Mr. Barry Lariba, Ms. Mary Jo Ansabala, Ms. Maria Vanessa Suerte, and Ms. Maribel Malape. Once again, our proposed study is entitled Of Effectiveness on Modular Approach on Grade 4 Students' Reading Comprehension at Liberty Elementary School. It is very undeniably fact that reading is the most important component in learning process and social interaction. But reading alone without understanding is not effective, especially in schools. According to Arnold in 2020, reading comprehension is the ability to decode and understand the meaning of written words. And according to Rutzler in 2020, the act of reading and the act of comprehending are very two different words. There have been many various studies like this conducted in exploring ways and varied strategies to improve students' reading comprehension. However, with our current situation in this new normal, the education, improving one's reading comprehension has been challenged. According to the PhilStar results in 2019, it shows that our country, the Philippines, ranked lowest in reading comprehension, which means that Filipino students are having difficulties in reading comprehension. According to Yusma Linda and Astuti in 2020, reading is more than seeing words. It is more than correctly pronouncing written words, and it is more than understanding the meaning of isolated words. As a researcher, we felt the urge to study the reading comprehension of the students, especially we're in the middle in this pandemic. We would like to determine its effectiveness and its strategies used, and most especially, we would like to determine the factors affecting the students' difficulties in reading comprehension amidst this pandemic. According to Virago and his accompanyees in 2010, they said that reading comprehension is a thinking process by which the reader selects the information in the printed materials and they will decide how will they use it into the previous knowledge. And according to the Sumuang in 2020, he said that distance learning modality are currently being used by all public schools as the survey conducted by the DepEd that this is the most preferred method. The purpose of the study, the statement of the problem, and the objectives will be discussed by Ms. Maria Vanessa Suerte.
Thank you so much, Raisa. So for the purpose of the study, the researchers aim to determine the effectiveness of printed modular distance learning. This study revolves on the effects of this new normal learning setup towards the reading comprehension among grade 4 students in Liberty Elementary School. Basically because this modular approach is the most common method of teaching used in public schools in today's new normal education due to COVID-19 pandemic. And for the statement of the problem, we would like to address that various studies about factors, strategies, and intervention affecting students' reading comprehension have been conducted to improve the students' ability in comprehending. However, only few explore the effectiveness of modular learning to students' reading comprehension during the pandemic era. And now, here are the following objectives of the study. First, to determine the effectiveness of modular approach in reading comprehension of grade 4 elementary students. Second, to evaluate the difficulties in reading comprehension in grade 4 elementary students. Number 3, to explore how the teachers address the reading comprehension and its effectiveness to students in printed modular distance learning or the PMDL. Number 4, to determine factors impeding effectiveness of modular approach. And fifth, to determine the strategies used by teachers in modular approach in reading comprehension. So for the next part, which is the conceptual framework, and the chapter 2 will be discussed by Miss Mary Jo and Sabala. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Now let us proceed to Chapter 2, Review of Related Literature and Studies. So we have Modular Distance Learning due to COVID-19 pandemic. Modular distance learning approach has been adopted by institutions to allow instruction to continue amidst the closure of schools due to the pandemic. Distance learning with modular approach was adopted by the country to cope with the situation as it is the most convenient for distant areas. Factors affecting students' reading comprehension proficiency. Teachers with limited experience and limited resources can affect students' reading performance as well as less exposure to an English-speaking environment. Availability of household items and other possessions as well as their parents' educational and occupational status and their parents' engagement can affect students' reading comprehension. Strategies in enhancing reading comprehension. Metacognitive reading strategy instruction and extensive reading strategy instruction, vocabulary instruction technique, peer tutoring, and the usage of mobile application in enhancing the reading and writing skills of learners. So here is our conceptual framework. Knowing the factors and strategies affecting reading comprehension and given the modality used in this time, this research wants to know the effectiveness of modular approach on grade 4 students' reading comprehension, and after getting the result, we will be recommending ways or recommendation to improve the effectiveness of modular approach. Chapter 3 will be presented by Ms. Maribel Malate.
Chapter 3 Methodology, Research Design. We will use descriptive research design method, use random sampling technique, specifically the simple random sampling. Two reading materials will be used, the pre-test and the post-test. The research respondents are the peak 20 pupils in grade 4 with the use of simple random sampling. The research environment will be at Public School of Liberty Elementary School in Barangay Liberty, Hilongos, Leyte. Research instruments, reading material, a story, and a questionnaire. The questionnaires are the pre-test and the post-test. The pre-test will be given to the first week and the post-test will be given to the second week. Data gathering procedure, 20 pupils of grade 4. We will divide them into Group A and Group B for social distancing. Evaluate reading performance and reading comprehension. Questionnaires will be given and answered within 45 minutes. Pre-test and post-test will be given. Data analysis procedure. Collect the primary data. Evaluate the reading performance from Group A and Group B. Check and analyze the questionnaires. Encode and highlights the data with the use of descriptive research design method, describing, observing, and assessing the data gathered, and summarize the data.
And that ends our presentation. Thank you very much for listening our proposed study entitled Effectiveness on Modular Approach on Grade 4 Students' Reading Comprehension at Liberty Elementary School. Before that, I would like to leave the saying by Albert Zent Georgi, which he said that research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Thank you very much. And now, we are open for questions, suggestions, and recommendations.